Hello, everyone. I have today in the special podcast series Insights Davos with me, Raquel. So maybe you can introduce a little bit about
Sure.
yourself, a couple of words.
I'm Raquel Navarro, and I work at Roche at the medical device part of it, and I'm leading the insights part to inform business decisions, specifically for we call our diagnostic solutions.
And I would like to ask you the first question. How is your experience so far? Did you enjoy it? What are the interesting, highlights you've learned during this day today?
So since I've been part kind of like from the beginning, I can see. So there is a great excitement about seeing the growth that we had done, that the Inside Lighthouse had done. So it really brings a lot of energy in that sense in all those people. But also for me, particularly, it's also about learning what other parts of the other companies are doing in the area, realizing that actually we do face kind of like similar challenges, and we kind of like put it together and sharing a lot of the how are we doing to overcome these challenges and how do we make our work more impactful, because everybody here, if I got to summarize, everybody is very passionate about really bringing the insights into the decision making, not for the sake of it, because we are convinced that that's the way to, on one hand, satisfy the customer needs and base business and make same business decisions. So I bring a lot of these learnings with me, and all kind of these different challenges, and it's changing how also the inside functions is evolving.
Talking about even this panel, right, or inside Davos, if you can compare with the other forums, because you quite often visit different forums, not only for the insights, but also for women, exchange, and so on. What is there any specialty around this forum?
Well, obviously, if I compare it to Davos last year, we're like much smaller. We're all like inside passionate people, and now this year, what we can see is that through a lot of exposure and also being in Cannes and so on, what we have here is a lot of more diversity in the different functions and skill set and different type of companies. Much more diversity, and we all know that diversity brings a better knowledge. That kind of diversity that allows me to talk from someone which kind of is taking this business decision to kind of or someone who is cybersecurity, or someone that is a business analyst or an R&D. What is happening, what I see emerging here is this collaboration that is coming from this diversity of these different people. So the conversations are not only among us as inside inside the function, but also how do we make that a real? How do we make those insights really helpful for the organization, looking from all the angles?
Another question which I would like to ask, how do you see such kind of forum and insights people are sharing can really have the tangible impact on the business growth and the sustainable growth for the organizations?
I think I can tell, for example, for myself, like I bring for myself like a different ways that I can do. I think we all agree there is a trend about knowledge integration, but there is of course very different ways to do it. So I bring myself several examples of how to use different platforms to do that. I had specific conversations with different participants here using this platform, this other platform, but also about how do we actually integrate this knowledge with to the C-suite, how do we summarize this knowledge, how do we make it more effective. I personally am gonna use it for my function, and I think if everybody kind of like brings that hopefully they will, then the inside function will kind of like be elevated, which is kind of like what we wanted, and we will also have this evolution that we want to see in the future.
I completely agree with you, right? So this is the necessity. And maybe another question which I would like to ask you, do you see any potential opportunities for this event to be, enhanced, evolved further? Any suggestion for Inside Lighthouse team?
Yes,
right
sure. So what I stay is continue in the direction that we're going, but continue to bring these different perspectives so that we can really enrich the conversations. So I think it's great that we, again, as I mentioned, kind of like the business side of it, the people who have to take the decisions and use these insights, the people who generate other kind of insights like analytics. So I think what I will do is continue to grow that, and then have some conversations around how do we integrate maybe so maybe it's an idea for some panels is about how do we put that in practice, people sharing best practices.
And the last question which I would like to ask you, do you plan to join the Inside Lighthouse event in Cannes Lions?
What kind of question is that? Absolutely. I mean, I cannot predict predict the future, things kind of like outside my control. But what is in my control, oh, I really love it because it just said it's helping me as a professional. It's helping me also personally, and it's creating a community for me that's really really meaningful.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Raquel. It was a pleasure to have you. And I would say to everybody, join us in Cannes Lions.
See you there.